Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Okay, so this is crazy. So I was searching like crimes in Colorado, whatever. I don't know exactly how I ended up on this, but y'all, oh my God, it's really hitting a nerve. So it's talking about characteristics of a dangerous woman, okay? Generalizations are not much use to the male of the species. Men like to be quantitative. So, what should be considered about that hot tomato that you're linked up with? Most married men are familiar with PMS, but you might want to visit Home Life Security, the PMS advisory system, for a reminder of what you can be in for. The following caveats are composites from the experiences of hundreds of men who have contacted the Equal Justice Foundation. If you have had experience with this type of dangerous woman, you've missed. Please let us know, or we've missed. All right, so let's see. It gets even better. It gets really great. So, dangerous behavior patterns. Let's face it, sex is the driving motivation for most relationships. Now, the story goes that God gave man two heads, but only one blood, enough for one at a time. It isn't likely you were thinking with the big head when Cupcake first cozied up to you, but you are hardly the first man to behave like an idiot where sex was concerned. And there have been some lessons learned. First, never go to bed with anyone crazier than yourself, from Murphy's Law of Combat. And crazy in bed means she is almost certainly in the head. As humorist Louis Grizzard pointed out decades ago, being married to a nymphomaniac is a whole lot of fun for the first 2 weeks. Okay, paternity fraud. With the destruction of marriages by current red femme laws, there are many women looking to have children but need a sugar daddy to pay them child support in order to do so. The issue often becomes even more acute as a woman's biological clock runs out as she approaches premenopause, usually around the age of 40. And she becomes desperate to have children. But there are many other scenarios in which a woman may name you as a father of her child. There is the classic scenario in which a woman attempts to trap you into marrying her by telling you she is pregnant. She may well be, but are you the father? In today's world, there is a significant chance you are not. So always insist on a DNA paternity test before consenting to pay child support. In his book, How to Avoid Getting Screwed When Getting Laid, attorney R.K. Hendricks outlines many other ways men are tricked into becoming fathers, include women who poke holes in condoms, lie about using birth control pills, use semen from discarded condoms to impregnate themselves, and so on. This one is the most offensive and misogynistic one of them all. Was she abused as a child? A woman who claims that she was physically or sexually abused as a child is a likely candidate to be abusive as an adult. Worse, from your standpoint, she will know all the games to play, just who to call and what to say when the abuse begins. Trust us, it won't be her who claims to be causing the abuse or perpetrating the violence. Like, what the fuck? Does she hit or throw things? It seems obvious, but it may just seem cute or funny or done in play. In one survey of college students, 20% of men had been attacked by their girlfriends and thought it was funny. In the trial of a female FBI agent convicted of assaulting her husband, also an FBI agent, in their Fall River, Colorado home, he testified he should have laughed at her attack on him with the snow shovel. But if she is hitting you while you are just dating, she will be more dangerous later. And remember, when she gets mad, the police are called. You're likely the one to get arrested. This is the next question. Misogynistic. Has she ever filed domestic violence charges or taken restraining orders out for abuse in the past against any of her potential partners? An easy way to find this out is to ask how you feel or how they feel about domestic violence during a psychological discussion. You know, those long heart-to-heart talks when you're young. In his excellent book, excellent by, oh my fucking God, How to Avoid Getting Screwed When Getting Laid, attorney R.K. Hendrick goes so far as to say a man should never let a woman he is romantically involved with into his home without first running a background check on her. Or if she has lived in Colorado for some time, spending $7 to run a check on her at the coloradocourts.com would be a wise investment. So, does she refer to herself as a victim or a survivor of violence or abuse? Has she stayed in a woman's shelter or worked for a domestic violence agency? These are red flags, and in any other direction is the exit. We suggest you get out now. So, women who were abused as children or abused as adults are dangerous women? What the fuck is this? And what kind of attorney, How to Avoid Getting Screwed When Getting Laid? How does he even get laid? Because what the fuck? Blaming someone for being abused as a kid or their fucking spouse? Like, I know women. I'm sorry for cussing, but this is some stuff here. Women are immensely overpowered by men. It has been a culture that we have had for a very long time. And abuse as a child, it is not the victim's the victim's problem or issue or make them dangerous. And to blame someone or say that they're basically no good and they're blamed for the abuse that happened to them. I don't know what man or woman hating man wrote this or what kind of attorney he is, but he needs to not be an attorney, because he's not a good man. I mean, I know women abuse men, and I don't think that any kind of abuse is funny or it's anybody's fault. It is not a child's fault. A child does not ask for it. At a certain point, if a woman doesn't leave, that's not her fault, but she's letting it go. She's letting the cycle go. She's letting the cycle continue, and she's not going to get out until she's good and dang ready. But that does not give the husband a right to fucking hit her. And that does not give the man a right to abuse a child. Only if she tells, though. Only if she tells. Because if she's a snitch, you better run. I got really heated about this, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because this is the problem. This is the problem in life in general, and obviously in Colorado. Women are not crazy because we're emotional beings. Women are not crazy because we were abused as a child and have abandonment issues and have daddy issues and mommy issues, because I'm sorry, but men are just as fucked up as women, and women hold it together a lot better. However, what does make a dangerous woman is mental health issues. They also go on to say that women going through menopause or a woman that has had a hysterectomy, before the age of 40 is very inclined to be dangerous. Like, what the actual fuck is wrong with this man? This RK, what is his name again? Because I want to find him, and I think that he needs to be fired from wherever he works. I think it was RK. Oh no, I lost my page. I'm gonna have to go back through, but I'm just saying this man is doing, literally doing law, performing law. Wrote a book on how to not get screwed while getting laid. That tells you everything you need to know about him. He needs to become a gay man because he is a woman hater, like a He-Man woman hater club, like the Little Rascals. No women allowed. I am not a feminist that thinks that, we should like have men by the balls or anything like that or be superior. I am a feminist in the way that I think that a woman has a right to her, a right to choose whatever path she wants. No matter what my choices are, I cannot dictate somebody else's choices. That's number one. Number two, I want to be equal. No bigger and no smaller. I don't want to take the men over. I just want to be equal. And I want for women to be looked at as the badass motherfuckers that we are. Not crazy, but the badass motherfuckers that we are. We're emotional beings, but that does not make us dangerous, and we are not tainted because we were abused as a child, and we are not victims because we were victims once before. What's wrong with being a survivor? What's wrong with a woman calling herself a survivor? She survived through it. She didn't give up. Even when all the pressure was on her, she didn't give up. She survived that shit. She rocked that shit. But what men need to realize is while women are survivors, they wouldn't survive without us. Because if we were gone, there would be no more them. That would be the end of them. I know that it's pretty sad or pretty ego biting for men, the power of women in general, not dangerous women in particular, but the power of women is very intimidating to a man. And that's probably like the saddest part, is that what they do and how they do it, and the utter negating of your feelings, of your emotions, of your rightful felt emotions is just despicable because they don't have any. They only have, they got two heads, only one works at a time. Well, when they're not working with the other one, obviously they're thinking about using the other one while it has vacancy up there, while it has the command of the floor. Mental illness is mental illness, but abuse and normal female things and our reactions and how we are, like Shanann's reactions to her husband just all of a sudden switching on her, those are valid. It is valid to feel hurt. Like Jodi Arias, it was valid for Jodi Arias to feel hurt. He literally used her as a, stand-in sex doll. And he was abusive. He was to tell somebody you want to tie them up to a tree and fuck them in the booty is pretty It's out there. It's definitely out there. She went along with it, but that says something about him and how he was in general. Like he wanted to tie her up. Like if somebody said that to me, I think that I would call the police on them. Like what the fuck is your problem? She did all of those things for him. Maybe she was a little crazy, but I can understand that kind of emotion. We can all pretty much understand it because we have all been there. And the one thing that you don't want to do is play with somebody's feelings, their emotions, that deep, deep hurt energy, that deep, something that cuts deep, that trauma energy, or break someone's heart. You break someone's heart, there's no telling what might happen. Some of us just, you know, have a little bit more restraint. I know that we've all had someone that we could have killed them had we not had the restraint. And that is the difference. Having the restraint to let ourselves calm down and not do something in that emotional heightened space. Having the wherewithal to in that moment that you're emotional, thinking of the long term and thinking of the consequences and thinking of how much guilt you'll have. You know, that's what keeps all of us from not being killers and not doing this, you know, intense in the heat of the moment type thing or, you know, whatever. When you get to that place, you know, taking the time out and like analyzing it and being able to calm yourself and take yourself away from that emotional heightened place, that is the only place that I can see logically murder happening for nothing other than pure emotions. The other stuff, the planning of it, the motives, because you don't want to get divorced and share half your shit, like it doesn't even compute to me. Because material things are never my greed or my selfishness or my wants will never trump the life of someone else. Because not only would I end their lives, because I'm not God, but I would hurt everybody who loved them. And that is no right of mine. I don't deserve the right to say if someone lives or dies. I don't have that power. I don't want that power. And I won't. There are certain things, our codes of honor, our morals, and the morals that we're raised with and the morals that we impart into us. And there should be lines that you will not cross under any circumstance. And I have those. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Like, I know I got off into some other crap, but that really messed with me because I just never in my wildest dreams imagined that someone was that dumb to feel that women who are abused or women who are victims of domestic violence are dangerous and are tainted and no good. It's the men who are raised to feel that way because it's a lot easier to say boys will be boys than boys need to learn to be respectful to girls and when to take no for an answer and when to shut up. They are not the rulers. They think they're the rulers. They aren't taught how to be men, but we're taught that we need to be wives, but these men are not taught how to be husbands. And that is the problem. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching.